Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so thank you for waiting and for this beautiful afternoon, and also thank you for coming. So we will be starting the events for today. So first of all, would like to appreciate everyone for being here for the demo day for Alpha Cloud for Women Pre-Accelerator. So today in this room we have our participants, the 10 participants present physically and also online. Okay. Let me change my mind. Maybe my voice is too pretty to hear. That's why. I like it. Yeah. Okay. Still too pretty. Hope this mic won't jealous for my voice. Okay, so today we have the 8 teams that will be present physically, and we also have 2 teams that present online through Zoom. We here today, which one of them will be teaching from China because he is traveling to China currently because of the schedule, and we will have one that will be teaching from Kuching. Beside the teams today, we also have judges, pretty and handsome judges today, the 4 judges, which we can introduce more later, and also the attendees and also investor in the room. So thank you again for coming. So today is a platform for the female startup, for the female entrepreneur to showcase their transformative ideas as well as their solutions in creating an impact on the society and also the community. It's also for us to witness the dedications and hard work of the 4 weeks of the program through online learning and also mentorship as well as our sessions with domain experts. So before I start, just a quick reminder, which probably you have already seen the notice at the whiteboard. This event is being live streamed and recorded. So by entering this area, you consent to having your image and voice appear on Facebook, which is a Meta platform, and also YouTube. So now, let us begin the event with a welcoming remark from Mr. Vikas, CEO and founding member.
Thank you. It's a little late, sorry, technical issues. Just want to cut to the chase. So my name is Vikesh, founding partner of Lead Ventures. Set up this little firm like 11 years ago now. This is batch 60 that we're doing in front of 10 years. So every year we find one of these 4 cohorts. The idea for Alpha Startups is always about discovering the next talent. That's why we got our friend Jim from Tatler over here. Who knows the next talent for the Gen Z list we come from here. But the key thing was we're always hungry to discover talent. And Alpha Startups was a program that we created to teach people who don't know what they don't know, things that they should know. And then create a platform, a stage for them to tell other people who don't know they exist that they exist. That was just basically it. This specific batch is a little bit more special. We decided to do a batch for women-led startups. So I think I've been talking on stage, on radio, and some shows a lot around this, like, why? A lot of people say, you're crazy, you shouldn't differentiate. A lot of people say, great, you should differentiate. There's so many camps to this. But for us, why we did this is because we can, right? So the whole purpose of why I started the venture firm, I invest in good companies because I can. We have the networks, we have the ability, we have the access, so I want to. If we don't make a conscious choice to work on certain things will not happen. So if you want more deep tech companies, you got to facilitate deep tech companies. You want more fintech companies, you do something to get fintech companies. You want more impact and that social agenda to happen, you do that. And we found that working with women-led founders, they had a lot of these things in parallel. They had amazing companies, but they also always thought of how a business could make a difference. Not many boys on the pitches those days, right? So the idea was that was one of the things we wanted to do because we can, we should. And hoping today we find some amazing ideas that we may or may not invest into, I don't know. But the platform for Alpha Startups always need to identify the next talent, showcase them so everyone knows about them, tell the world that these people exist, and who knows what kind of partnerships could happen with funding or not. We could take this company to the next level. So that's why we're here today, right? To support these entrepreneurs, regardless of gender and age. But amazing founders that have great things that they are passionate about, and we want to see how we can help them take this to the next level. And that's what Alpha Startup has always been about and will always be about. If we had a check, lucky you, but there's a bigger agenda around it. So we had 35 applications into this because it was only female founders. And we decided that we didn't want to filter. We took everyone in because we had the ability to mentor and scale this. So we said, no filter, everyone comes in. The ability for someone to learn why it's a viable or not viable startup, that's what the whole program is about. So you know why nobody would fund this, why it doesn't make sense. I wanted you to realize that on your own. So if you're here, of course, that means it's kind of viable, it's kind of feasible, and you became the top 10 to basically come into the program at the very end. In between, there was a filtering criteria, and I'm always happy to see that drop off. That means 50 people knew that this wasn't for me yet. It is not right. There's some fundamental issues. I need to go figure it out. There's no point. I move on because they're not going to get selected anyway. But they realize that. So I call it crudely the ugly baby effect, right? Someone needs to tell you your baby's ugly, but every mom will think your baby's so beautiful. So teach you how to realize that. Crude, I know, but hey, better than saying like skinny cats or whatever, right? So out of the 10, we're going to meet them today. 8 are present, 2 is online. So hoping it'll still be a great experience for you inside. Let's just play a little clip. Can we play the clip on the top 10 teams so you know who they are? So those were the 10 teams that made it through today for Demo Day. So hopefully you get excited and hear the pitches and see how you could support them. If you could, I want to talk about the panel of judges who basically curated. We have the thorn one row is Suresh, who is the co-GP with me in our new fund, the Capital One. So Suresh is going to be, looking at it from an investor lens for sure. And then we've got some amazing women that we've been working with, engaging with throughout this program and many different things we do at Leeds. We thought they would be the best to come in on also whisper in their ear, like how could we work with these companies, what they could do with these companies, whether they're investable or not. I trust these women to give us that advice. We got Ira Kumar itself. Thank you very much for joining us. We got Parmeet, the social media, digital marketing, analytics queen of Asia. There you go. And we're coming together as an active member of Melbourne. I think it's great to have an association like this in the market and see how you could have maybe the next generation of your members, which are very much the startup world, come and join you in that way. Hoping that will work. Agenda, I will pass it back to Lermin. It's going to tell you, since we started a little late, I think we're going to take away the break so we can power through all the teams itself. Thank you, Lermin.
Thank you, Bikash, for the speech. So I will be continuing with just a quick agenda briefing. So we already done with our welcoming remarks. So we will continue with all the pitches. And also as mentioned, we will take over the break. So we will just wrap up with all the teams and also pitches. And lastly, we will end with a judge's comment as a closing remark. And just take note is that we will not have winners be announced today. It will be after this. Yep. So before we pass to have our first team, just also a quick reminder, please silence your mobile phone to ensure they don't disrupt the pitches during the presentations. And each of the team will have a total 3 minutes of pitching. So we have timekeeper G for keeping the time. She will ring the bell for twice. Ding ding, yeah, for when the time is up. And also 5 minutes of Q&A followed by the pitch. So after every end of every presentations, there will be also a crowd favorite form to engage and also have the audience to participate as well, including the one online. So you can take out your phone to scan the QR code online. At the same time, for those who are on live, you can have the link through the chat, Facebook live chat. So you can drop your comments and also insights to the startup after every pitches. So without further ado, let's have our first pitch, negative 12 degree, where she will be pitched online. So let's have Chloe.
Hi, a very good morning to everyone. So tell me, who does not love ice cream? Yes, we Malaysians love food and dessert. 2019 data shows that 3.9 million Malaysians are diabetic. And not only that, almost 50% adult Malaysians are obese. So what if I'm telling you that you can enjoy guilt-free ice creams? And the best part is, they're all from plant-based ingredients. Hence, no issue with lactose intolerance and allergy. In the recent years, we have seen a surge of plant-based restaurants and cafes, indicating a growing acceptance of plant-based lifestyle among individuals. And not forgetting the child obesity and the health-conscious gym goers group. So what's our industry opportunity here? The sugar content and the traditional dairy-based ice cream. We position ourselves as a local plant-based gelato maker, specializing in no sugar added flavors, transforming gelato into yummy treats. Our lab test result shows that sugar content is 95% lower compared to the supermarket advertised low-calorie, low-sugar brands. We are definitely the alternative for those looking for healthy ice cream. With all that, there are 3.9 million diabetic in Malaysia. The SAM will be 39% diabetic who are of age 30 to 59 years old. As for the SOM, with a target of 5% population buying an average of 2.70 ringgit, will generate a revenue of 5.3 million. Currently, we have 2 operating kiosks in Kuala Lumpur, plus a total of 7 touchpoints in Peninsular Malaysia. We are also available on GrabFood and Bipit. The price ranging from $10 to $15 per scoop, and our 2023 revenue was 243K. These are some of the reviews from our customers. They love our sugar-free flavors. There is a market gap where most of the ice cream are traditionally dairy-based and loaded sugar. So, how are we going to be better than others? Our go-to-market will be the marketing campaigns, collaboration with yoga Pilates centers, Diabetic Association and chain pharmacy for our freezer placement program. We will also run activity with related business partners to increase awareness. We will tap on the power of social media to educate the public on the knowledge of food choices, from online to offline, bringing them to our kiosks. We target to open a total of 13 kiosks in 2027 and then proceed to franchise. The ask is 300K for our kiosk expansion, marketing activities, technology that help us to streamline and enhance our operation, and not forgetting the R&D for our new products. So after dispensing behind the counter for the past 15 years and battling with my own son's allergy, here I am now as a healthy gelato churner. Let's build a greener, healthier world, one scoop at a time. You're more than welcome to contact us for further inquiries. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. So let's have Chloe on the screen. And now we will open for Q&A from judges. At the same time, for the crowd, you can scan the QR code. I see people are doing that. Good job. So yeah, Chloe, can you hear us, Sally?
Hi, everyone. Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Okay,
Hi.
so judges, yeah, they can see you and you can see them as well. So judges, if you have any questions, your mic is here.
Hi, wait. But the weaker one. So my question is your target market, because you mentioned plant-based and there's a lot of, I think now, dairy-free options available from what I see. The no sugar or sugar-free option is what. So do you plan to zoom in and focus on that? Or are you just going on an overall plant-based option plus sugar-free? Because I feel a bit like there were two things that you were talking about, and do you plan both or are you planning to zone in on the one?
Yeah, because our base would be all plant-based. Can you hear me?
I'll just add on to that. Also then if you could let me know who are your competitors on both, like whether it's plant-based or any other sugar-free options out there.
Yeah, there's a slide showing we're all mainly plant-based, so we don't make any dairy-based ice cream. So for the time being plant-based, and we will focus on the no sugar added flavors. Currently, our main competitor, I wouldn't say competitor because we are all from plant-based. There are only like two brands, and Kindcones and Lava, they're making the plant-based. As for no sugar added, will be one from No Gula. That's another brand that is making like no sugar added. I think we have a slide showing the market in the market one. So they are like mainly plant-based or no sugar added slides.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
So FMCG products are definitely, always in demand, but margins can be an issue. Have you looked at how?
Sorry, the line is breaking.
Have you looked at how you?
Sorry. No, the line is breaking.
Can you hear us now with this mic?
Yeah, this mic is better.
Have you looked at your margins and how you can potentially scale the business profitably?
You mean how to scale?
Yes, can I also piggyback on Suresh's question? Could you mention scale and quality?
Yeah, so
Sorry, I don't get you.
Yeah, three questions. One is, how are you going to scale? How are you going to maintain your quality as you scale? And how do you think your margins will grow as you scale? Right. Maybe we should text it.
I just write on.
Can we text it?
Oh.
We have texted in the chat.
All right. Okay. In terms of scaling wise, we do have our own production site.
Okay. And also, how's the margin looks like for scaling?
What do you mean by margin for scaling?
Profit. How do you think your profit will grow as you scale? Because sometimes when you start growing, it's hard to manage your profitability. That's okay. We can skip the question.
You can answer that because we actually can hear you.
Oh, okay. We do have our small scale production. So in terms of scaling, right, we intend to invest into our own kitchen. Yeah, in terms of the quality, how do you think we will be able to manage the quality as you expand? Well, definitely as we grow, we will invest into a more better machinery, and also we do intend to invest into like system whereby we can actually keep track of our stocks and the lab tests as well. We send in like the batches as well for testing.
Okay, thank
Is
you,
that-
Chloe.
Is that your question?
Yeah.
Any more questions from the?
Okay.
Any more questions from the judge? Okay, cool. So we are also times up for Q&A. So judges, you can fill it in and submit your form, and we will proceed once everyone is done.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chloe. I think meanwhile, Parveen can be ready for the next one. Okay, judges, maybe we can proceed to the next one first while filling in the form. Yeah, okay, so let's move on to our second team for today, from Dr. Parveen's Global Sanjay Berhad. So Dr. Parveen is from Kuching, where she will be pitching from Kuching and presenting online as well. So, okay, let's go with Dr. Parveen.
Good day, my name is Parveen and I'm here to pitch on Midin Botanical Tea. My partner is Dini Anak Joshua. So the problem faced in Malaysia is dementia. Dementia is on the rise by the millions and Malaysia is going to be called the super age country very soon. This is also splashed all over the newspapers and we can see the same scenario globally. So we looked at the plant called Midin, which is grown in abundance in Borneo and is used as a traditional medicine among the indigenous people. Today it's enjoyed as a luxurious cuisine. So we studied sources of journal articles, clinical studies, and we found that it contains high cholinesterase inhibitor, anti-inflammatory and anti-toxicity. Along with that, the other good properties of Midin helps to curb with the other diseases as well, and it's very suitable for adults and elderly. So we call it the functional food as we have developed 9 variations of Midin botanical tea with good concoctions, and this is the first ever product in Malaysia. So we looked at social enterprise approach, being gender specialists. I recruited B40 rural women farmers, trained them to source for Midin leaves, and in return giving them income, giving them gender equality, empowering them, and of course reduction of poverty as well, and fulfilling many other SDG goals. So here we are working with the top food technologies in Mardi, developing the prototype, and later on went on to work with Chanson Health, which has 27 years of botanical tea production. So we are in Dubai here, showcasing our product and receiving positive feedback from 100 visitors. Here's the market size of functional food by the billions. And this is our SOM, which is an alarming 3.9 million ringgit. So we go to market plan, we work hand in hand with the ministries, we work with hotels, backpackers, we go for physical expos, digital platforms, and we do many face-to-face appearances and awareness talk and giving free samples as well. So our competition, we are low in price and we focus on dementia, Alzheimer, and of course the heritage plant of Borneo. Here we are in our timeline and we are certified by all the certificates. I won the Shell Life Wire of Borneo with the abstract idea of Midin tea, and today with my excellent team, we have produced this Midin tea. And this is my humble ask on technology, marketing, operation, and salary. With that, I would say thank you very much. And with the right go-to-market plan and team of experts, I assure you sustainability. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Parmeet. So the same for the crowd, you can take out your phone to scan the QR code or the bit link. Well, let's have the win on stage, and judges, you can have Q&A.
Hi, Parmeet, very interesting product. I'm familiar with it. I have two questions. One is, how are you going to scale up? Because I presume you're sourcing it from the wild, right? So, what happens? What's your plan? As you business grows, how do you plan to make sure that the source is sustainable? The second thing is, I noticed that you had referred to a lot of research, but have you actually tested the efficacy of your product? I mean, do you have some test results to show somebody has taken this much and then what's happening? Oh, sorry, actually, I have a third question. You're also targeting the tourist market, which I thought was a bit weird. Is for dementia. Why the tourist market? Yeah, it's my three questions.
A very good afternoon. Yeah, thank you very much for your questions. The first question is scaling up, especially the resources are coming from the, the rural areas of Borneo. That has been very well ironed out. We work hand in hand with the farmers and also the manufacturers, because at the moment I am producing under Chanson Health, and we have all the resources and all the farmers who can give us Midin even by the tons. We are assured of that. And in fact, for the expos, in a very short notice, we get ample supply of Midin. Actually, Midin is grown in the wild and it's grown almost very easily, and it's obtained in abundance. So we are helping the farmers, so we know that in return, they will give us the Midin, by the tons. But that is assured. Number two, I think I got your question right. If I'm wrong, please correct me. You did say research and test results. Yes, we sourced a lot of journal articles, especially if you can see the board of management. Some of them are real, food technologists and scientists. And we looked at clinical studies. So to do a clinical study, it takes a long time, plus it's a heavy budget. So we looked at clinical studies from very established, journals and all that. And we found that it contains this element, which is, of course, going to inhibit dementia. And on top of it, it has other elements as well. And they found significant results even for other diseases as well. So I think the clinical studies will speak for itself. That's one. And I think the third question, sorry, I couldn't hear you very well. The third question, could you please repeat it for me?
Okay, actually, I was referring to your target market. I think it was the second last slide before your thank you, where you had put tourists in your list of targets. So that to me was a bit strange. Why tourists when you are looking to help people with Alzheimer's? Yeah?
Okay, thank you very much for your question. If we look at midin, right? Midin plant is an exotic plant and enjoyed as an exotic cuisine, not just by the local people. It is also enjoyed by tourists. Midin has been, concocted into dishes. So the tourists go for midin as a dish, and it's actually quite pricey. And when you ask any tourist, they are all looking for midin because this is the heritage plant of Borneo. So we approached some hotels and we found that they were very interested to serve midin tea to the tourists and of course to visitors and of course to the local people as well. So thank you very much.
Great presentation, Praveen. This is Ida. I have a question about, and I think you kind of answered it just a little bit now. I believe when you are using the funding that you're looking for marketing, you'll be including the rich Malaysian heritage of this plant as part of your marketing efforts. Is that the plan to kind of tell the story of Malaysia as you market this particular tea?
Sorry, I couldn't hear so clearly. Yes.
So I wanted to know, in your marketing efforts, you'll be using most of the fundraising you're doing is for marketing. Will you be sharing kind of the heritage of Malaysia, weaving that into your marketing strategy for this particular product when you market it to tourists as well as outside Malaysia?
Okay. Thank you very much for your question. I think you were mentioning about how to market in Malaysia. Well, after visiting this expo, very big expo in UAE, and also joining many other expos under Matre and other ministries, we found that it's not just confined to Borneo, but people are very curious. People are very curious to even, to know more about this plant. And we found that people love the benefits of this plant and also the taste of this plant. So to market it in Malaysia, it's not a problem because we are introducing midin as a very, functional food. And I think people will also start learning that Borneo has a very big heritage plant here. It's also, educating people at the same time because the feedbacks we got from UAE and other countries were very, very positive. Thank you.
The one other question, Praveen, is for a social enterprise model to be sustainable financially in the long term, can you speak to what strategies you're implementing now so that it will remain financially sustainable in the long term as you scale?
Thank you very much. For social enterprise to sustain, at the moment, I'm using my savings actually, to be honest. And also I have some parties chipping in to help us. Midin has been the brainchild of a few people, and winning the Shell LifeWire, we were given 120 days to work on the abstract idea to producing it as a product. Today, we are not going to stop. We are going to go on and show social enterprise approach. We have promised the farmers the income and all that. That is, I think, something which we will carry on. And I think we assure you that the social enterprise approach is not going to hinder us. In fact, we can sustain it. Yeah, thank you very much.
Hi, Praveen. I have a question on how you plan to differentiate, and are you positioning yourself as preventive or slowing down the the development of dementia? And because from what we know now, I think there's supposedly still no cure for dementia. So how you position yourself will matter, and how you market yourself will matter. Also, because there are lots of other plant-based functional medicine out there. Even if you look at things like from cinnamon to, there are lots of claims. Some things are scientifically proven. There are some studies on it. So how do you plan to differentiate yourself? I mean, maybe it's because this is from Malaysia, but then if you look at diabetes, it's something global, and your solution needs to take into account all the different options that people may be looking at now. Thanks.
Thank you very much for your question. Well, I think because this is not a medicine, first of all, it's a functional food, you are right. Anything you take which is good and which is going to benefit your health is actually going to be quite like a preventive rather than a cure. I think if you start taking, this product, it will help you with your cognitive impairment. It will help you build those inhibitors that you need because it's scientifically proven. Yes, the competition is wide, but I think the properties are very unique for midin. And it speaks for itself when all the scientific evidence shows significant studies, for these diseases, and also for the most important is anticholinesterase. So I think, it is more like I'm eating something good and I'm going to prevent myself, from getting something which is going to be bad for me. So yeah, I think that answers the question. Thank you.
Thank you, judges, for the questions, and thank you, Parmeet, for the presentations and being with here through Zoom today. So we will now shall move on to the first team who will present physically today. Yoon, let's have Yoon from Plixstar. Yeah.
Hi everyone, my name is Yoon from Plixstar. Our founders come from family business in the plastic industry for over 40 years. She has a close relationship with our stakeholders and understand their pain points. We see challenges faced by SME and mid-tiers as our opportunity, and this is why we are introduced Plixstar. Plixstar has been launched in Malaysia in January 2023. Plixstar is a solution provider for SME and mid-tiers in the plastic industry. We facilitate trading of plastic products and its feedstock in a way that never been done before. Imagine having real-time updates of plastic prices, trends, and reports all at your fingertips. We also offer Plixstar Flex Credit in partnership with Boost Credit. Furthermore, we have digital marketing channel for our sellers. The matchmaking feature is to matchmake suitable vendors to invite demand digitally. In order to close the loop, we have waste management and ESG solution in our pipeline. Let's meet our team. AB Teo, our founder, who has finance background and has been in the industry for 10 years. Eric Siu, our co-founder, who has expertise in IT, and head of business development, Joey Chen. These are our business model that outline how we monetize our business. We charge commission, we have subscription package, and also advertisements. These are our achievements as of now. In the past 12 months, we have 13 recurrent transactions where the per transaction value up to 100,000. It is actually hard for the industry to onboard petrochemical plants. However, we have done it for 5. We anticipate that the market potential has a GMV of USD 4.7 billion. As compared to a competitor, Plixstar proposition excels in credit facility, matchmaking, and also carbon calculator features. We have built strong relationship with our customers and appreciate on their testimonials. We are looking at a fundraising of 1 million for the next 12 months, where the biggest portion will be allocated on technology development. Plastic has been an affordable convenience in our life. However, inappropriate management of its life cycle will lead to irreversible challenges to our future generation. Plixstar vision is to closing the loop for circular economy where plastic waste is completely eliminated. Thank you, everyone, and feel free to ask questions.
Judges, any questions?
Hi, again, very, very interesting. Just one question. You mentioned the closing the loop in the circular economy. Can you explain that? Because I see this as trading. Yeah.
So actually, in our platform, we will trading of from plastic raw material, plastic product, and also we have waste management and ESG solution. And for example, for those trading, manufacturing company or petrochemical plant, they surely will have the plastic waste. And we foresee that if those waste will come to trade in our platform, and those manufacturers, they will buy back the waste and to be produced again. And this is our vision to close the entire plastic loops.
Do you separate plastic? Because not all plastic is recyclable, right? So how would you do that?
For the waste management, you mean to upload the plastic and the waste our platform, right? So actually the seller, they will need to responsible on the product that they upload on the specification and those MI specific in there. So they will match make by themselves on for the customer. They will look at the specification and they will also match make.
So the separation is done by those vendors themselves.
It depends on what kind of product the vendor plans to upload to our platform.
Because sometimes I would say that how do you encourage them to do that? Because I think a lot of us, I mean, besides the businesses, even people, I think to separate waste, there's almost no encouragement, or people need something, the reason to do it, either a fine maybe or some money.
Yeah.
But they don't, even like businesses, for them to separate that, and how would you encourage them to do it?
Yeah, for example, there is a product that uploaded as a waste management in our platform, which is the used fishing nets. So they upload the product to our platform and they will match make for those buyers that are interested to use the used fish nets into other upcycling purposes.
Me to describe this as a marketplace for new and also recyclable plastics.
Our main target for now at this stage for the first few years, we are very much focused on trading of the plastic products and its feedstock, and the waste management and also ESG solution are in our pipeline, which is available. Because as of now, we believe that the awareness in this industry for plastic is not the awareness is not there yet, but then we are already prepared and there is a platform ready for them to get ready whenever they need this service.
So a lot of times when we have a marketplace, we have these early adopters that come in and they're ready and bought into your idea. But inertia for the bigger other clients that goes on for quite a while. So I think to develop a niche marketplace, what strategies would you put into place to retain the buyers and sellers within this marketplace? How are you incentivizing them to be within your marketplace and trading?
Okay, thank you for the question. Actually, this is not a niche marketplace because plastic is a product that everyone will need it in our daily lives. So the trading of plastic products from the raw material, the plastic resin, until the end product, it will have the market player over there. For example, we are looking at a market size of, and we'll be targeting SME and mid-tiers at a range of 2,500 SMEs on the plastic players in this industry. And that will be our target range to onboard them to our platform to do the transaction. So as referred to previous slide, our achievement as of now, we have onboarded 40 vendors and with those well names and 300 customers onboarded in our platform for the transaction.
And how long did it take to get to 300 customers?
300 customer registered, we took around, we launched in January 2023 until now, so slightly more than a year.
Okay, and how long is the onboarding process to bring on a customer, to educate them about your marketplace as well as to...
Okay, so it's actually quite challenging journey to onboard a customer from, they used to trade business offline and go through this transformation journey to do business online. And that's why we did a lot of hand-holding to educate them, and it actually takes time. So when the hand-holding process over, they can do the transaction independently in our platform. And that's why we are still at the very beginning stage on helping them to be more confident and to do the business independently online.
And one last question, how many of these 300 have done repeat transactions?
The more recent one that show at our achievement was one of the customer recurrent 13 times. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just one last question. Do you have any plans to do non-plastic products?
Non-plastic product, do you mean that like alternative
Yes.
bioplastic? Yeah, we are exploring at that. Because plastic have been going through some issue, like for example, ban on the one-time use plastic, right? So we are actually exploring bioplastic that replace fossil fuel plastic. So we're also exploring those green finished good products that give your user as an option for them to choose in our platform.
So I think this, for me, what I feel is your pitch. The last part was probably most interesting when you looked at waste management and ESG. And if you are going in that direction, then you should also look at how, as a business, you are going to also move towards going beyond plastic with alternatives.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, the immediate impression was you're selling me more plastic, which is going against where the world is moving.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
So it's, coming back to the marketplace, right? Generally, marketplaces win if they're the biggest, if they're earliest, where you compare to sort of competition that's out there.
As compared to our competitor, right? So, we have a few competitors which are at overseas. Then they are targeted industrial, some are mixed and some are very focused on plastic. The one that very focused on plastic is Tokoplast, where in very well known in Indonesia. So we have our own excels in our proposition, where our features that we plan to introduce to our user are very much focused on matchmaking, capability, and the credit facility, where we can really proposition ourselves compared to others. And also, Plixstar is the first platform that introduced the whole circular economy loop in this plastic industry.
Okay, I think that's all for Q&A.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Plixstar, for your presentations. So we shall give 1 minute for the judges to drop your scoring in the form. Meanwhile, for the crowd, you can have your phone up to scan the QR code. Okay, next, let's have Crystal from Awaken Academy, and
When you hear the word pandemic, what's your first thought? COVID-19, right? And just when you think the COVID-19 pandemic is over, a different kind of pandemic is silently lurking behind the scenes. The mental health pandemic. Now, more than ever, people are suffering from mental disorder, unhappiness, and loneliness. But the solution may be lying in plain sight. and that is the timeless ancient yogic wisdom. And by combining it with evidence-based modern science, we can solve this crisis. And that is what our tiered intervention program is all about. This program includes a range of services depending on your level of commitment and affordability. So if you're on a low budget and not ready to fully commit yet, so you can opt for our podcast, monthly meetup, or even half-day workshop. But if you're ready to fully commit and spend more, then you can choose our full-day workshop, retreat, or coaching. So this is how our program works. Normally, a yoga class, for example, would just focus on one thing, yoga, right? But in our yoga class, we combine both ancient wisdom and modern science for a more holistic approach and to ensure maximum benefits. So this program has a global market size of a whopping 382 billion ringgit, followed by the Malaysian market size at 338 million ringgit and Klang Valley at 8 million ringgit. Our revenue will be generated from our workshop, retreat, and coaching, depending on the price and number of participants for each of the services. And by adding the revenue of all of the services together, we're expecting a total revenue of 478,000 ringgit by 2025. In order to reach our market, first we will focus on website SEO by leveraging on my personal blog. Next is influencer marketing and social media content by leveraging on my YouTube channel and Instagram, followed by our Meetup app and our podcast. Then we'll get people to join our email list and social media, followed by our monthly meetup and discovery coaching call before they finally register for our program. What gives us a competitive edge is because of our hybrid model, by combining traditional and modern sciences as well as our affordable prices. In just 1 month, people already shown interest in our program. In February this year, about 2 participants came to our free monthly workshop, and in March, about 15 customers successfully paid for our workshop. This year, we're trying to focus more on brand presence and product refinement, followed by capturing early adopter market, as well as adjacent market. And in year 5, we want to scale worldwide by building a retreat center and be tech-enabled. Our team consists of myself, Dr. Crystal Aswang, I'm the founder of Awaken Academy, as well as my co-founder over here, Dr. Shaira. We have Dennis, our mentor, spiritual coach, and yogi, as well as Jean, our marketing director. For this pre-seed round, we're asking for 50,000 ringgit, which we will be using mostly on marketing, followed by our salary, operations, and technology. To conclude, inner peace, happiness, and clarity are not exclusively reserved for monks meditating in ashrams, in the caves, or up in the mountains. In fact, it is the birthright of everyday normal people like you and me. And through this program, we want to help you realize that. Thank you.
Thank you. Questions from the judges?
How do you validate that this works for somebody, or how do you, follow up and yeah.
Thank you for the question. We've actually done a market validation where we surveyed about 75 participants to figure out what are the struggles and what are some of the things that they've done to overcome the struggles. So, yeah, so basically what are some of the struggles that they face is like, working an unfulfilled job, relationship problems, feeling depressed, loss of meaning in life, loss of purpose. And then we ask them, what are some of the things that they've done to overcome it? And this is what we got. So about 2%, 2.7% said coaching, and then followed by spirituality, meditation, therapy, prayer, social support, and then the largest one is personal development. So our program, which entails, combining ancient wisdom and modern sciences through workshops, coaching, and retreat, encompasses all of these things. So, yeah. So that's how we think it will work.
So there's this statistic out there that says if you bought one self-help book, you're more likely to buy 18 more. It's just with it's in a great book by Mark Manson.
So in terms of what your product offering is, which is, I believe, a workshop, a podcast, and a retreat, many of these may seem like one-time events. They may not actually translate to repeat customers and clients. How will you kind of have a differentiated revenue model that allows for that? And is there anything else that you'll be adding to this product mix to really create that stickiness of your clients to become repeat customers?
Yeah, good question. So how we're planning to do it is based on this tiered intervention model, right? So the podcast, monthly meetup, and half-day workshop are more like to create awareness about our product. Yeah. So podcast, monthly meetups are free, so there's less resistance for people to join. And then once they're interested or curious about what we have to do, so they can join our half-day workshop. So our half-day workshop is mostly like an appetizer or a teaser to our full-day workshop and the retreat and coaching. So once they feel like they want to know more, they want to learn more about our program, and then they can opt for the full-day workshop, which is an in-depth version of the half-day workshop. Yeah, and then the retreat is a longer period, like a 3-day program. And then the coaching is the longest one, the 6-month coaching program. Yeah.
So I think what we believe in right now, like how you mentioned, when you buy one self-help book, you tend to buy the other more. So initially we start out with the awareness, but what we are planning is we're not going to let you go at that moment in which you are just, without any help. So the coaching is for us to help you, to handhold you along the way in order for you until you reach the destination or the goal that you're looking for. So that's where the personal development validation comes in.
Also, another thing is, what gives us what gives us a competitive edge is because of our program, but I have it in the appendix. This is going to take a while.
It's one moment.
Is in the appendix. Now let me just do it. Okay, here. All right. So there are a few like wellness centers, right? That does this kind of thing like yoga, meditation, what else? Yeah, yoga, meditation, other spirituality, spiritual discourse, breath work. But most of them I realize they are one-time class. It's just a one-time thing, right? So it depends if they want to join now at this time, so they just join. But what we are trying to provide is a long-term support. So they can choose whether they want, that's why I say that if they're not ready to fully commit yet, then they can choose the shorter version one, like the half-day workshop, full-day workshop. But if they're ready to fully commit, then they can join our coaching, like 6-month coaching program, and then versatility, which is a peer intervention program. And then also we have a active and supportive community. And I think that is what holds everything together, because most of what we realize from our survey is, they're struggling through all of these things, but it seems like they are just going through it either alone or they have social support like friends or family, but not really like expert people, to guide them, like coaches or trainers, or like we have a spiritual yogi to guide them, and also a community to keep them accountable and to support and motivate one another along the way.
I think that there are apps like that, even Malaysia, there's a product called Plus Vibes, which is basically access to therapists and coaches, and they actually do a premium model, and it's partly free. And what I would see perhaps, and maybe you can explain, how do you plan to scale up? Because yours seems to be very, you need a retreat, you need people to coach and so forth. So if you're looking in 5 years to increase your revenue to 8 million, how do you plan to increase your talent pool how many retreats do you need to have, how many therapies? So those things perhaps will be of interest.
Yeah, okay, thank you for the question. We have here the roadmap. Let me just explain in more detail. So for this year, right, 2024 present, we're planning to focus more on brand presence and product refinement. So brand presence as in we want to create awareness about what we do, what are the services that we have to offer so that people know who we are and if they're interested in our programs and they can join, right? And also product refinement. And then in year 1, 2021, we want to tackle the early adopter market, and then at the same time plan to expand our team. And then next one is year 3, is adjacent market, and then have a full-fledged team. And then we plan to also hire more manpower, like coaches, workshop teachers, yoga instructors, meditation instructors, and so on. And then in year 5, that is when we plan to scale worldwide. One is by building a retreat center. So we always have this vision, I always have this vision of building a retreat center is almost like the Bali of Malaysia. Bali is always famous for these kinds of retreat center. But what if we can create one in Malaysia where not only our local people can come, but people all over the world will come to Malaysia and they know Malaysia as one of the best retreat center for wellness and spirituality. And then in order for us to scale worldwide, for people to know us globally, is to be tech enabled. So first is a hybrid workshop, making the workshop not only in person, but also available online, virtually, and then have a self-paced online course, also start a certification course for teacher training, so that, the teachers and instructors can be in many places and teach and instruct the students or participants. And then also have a mobile app where people can subscribe for access of exclusive content, or if they want to listen to guided meditations or learn about yoga and thoughts and stuff. Yeah. And I think that's all. Okay.
Just one more question. So I think if you look at Malaysia, if you were to use words like yoga and meditation too much, I think you may limit yourself in terms of the extent that you can actually get people to join you, because even globally in medical science now, they use the word maybe more mindfulness rather than yoga and meditation. So you may want to consider that if you really want to reach a larger audience. Second is actually, you need to find a way, because real impact can only happen when people practice daily. This is not something, I think you and I know that you can't meditate one day and depression's gone, it doesn't work, right? You might have to do it for 6 months or 3 months or whatever, and then still continue. So I think having to see how you can actually bring that into the practice once a month alone may not be good. And how do you compare yourself to, there are lots of therapists coming up now, psychologists. It's going to grow in Malaysia because the need is there, right? But you being a doctor, you should also try to see how you can bring in science into this, because there is a lot of research now going on the impact of mindfulness on even your brain and how it works. So if you bring that in, potentially you could, it'll be easier to convince people as to why this works, especially for those who are quite cynical on meditation and yoga.
Yeah, for sure. It's also something that I realized because I also do training, and we're not allowed to say certain words in some companies, like meditation. So instead of meditation, they say use breath work or relaxation techniques, right? And I think one of the ways for us to tackle that is our target market. Because for now, our target markets are working professionals from 25 years old to 55 years old, because those are the age where they're mostly likely to experience existential crisis, right? Midlife crisis, quarter-life crisis, and that's where we can help. And then we are narrowing it down to, from this group of people, we're narrowing it down to people who are already familiar about these spirituality practices, who are already doing it, or maybe have an awareness or an idea about it, but they want to learn more. Yeah, so we don't really have to convince them to join us. So if they want to know more, curious to know more, then they can come and join us. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you for the questions and also Next, we will have Mayvick from Dr. Durden Soap to tell us how that her handmade formula can help us fight for skin well-being.
Hello everyone, this is Mayvick from Dr. Durden Soap. Since skin issues are rising concerns for Malaysians today, the presence of unregulated, cheap, and potentially harmful ingredient in our daily soap is not helping the situation. To address this, we identified a need of a certified, all-natural, and potent soap that is trustworthy, safe, and effective. Our story is that me, a pharmacologist, and a medical doctor, we came out with four gentle formulation for bar soaps. And in inceptions, we were 100% home manufactured. We managed to produce and sell out 400 bar soap via direct sales. We'd like to introduce alternative natural cleansing solution for eczema, hyperpigmentation, dry skin, and acne vulgaris. This is the result of our 30 days product trial. In Malaysia, there are 32 million potential incidents of the above-mentioned skin diseases. At 55 ringgit per soap bar, we're looking at estimated revenue of 1.7 billion ringgit Malaysia. We're targeting female Muslims aged 35 to 54 with buying power located at Klang Valley with estimated revenue of 22 million ringgit Malaysia. This is our new business model, which is B2B and B2C. With your investment, we plan to funnel our customers through our online and physical platforms. We have this one exclusive stockist program for women, for single mother, and also women at risk. Our go-to-market plan. We plan to touch base with our potential consumers through patient support groups, build a relationship, and eventually sell once our product is officially launched to ensure a long-term relationship. We plan to do this through a subscription plan. From these slides, we have effectively overcome the shortfalls of our primary competitors. Our other additional advantage includes a halal, all-natural soap that is portable for consistency of use. In skincare, consistency leads to results, as what we have seen earlier in our testimonial slides. We are currently at phase 1 of our 4-phase milestones, which entails online campaign, setup, and mass production preparation. Dr. Durden Soap is a brainchild of a pharmacologist, medical doctor, and a graphic designer. We are Dr. Durden, fighting for your well-being, and then we are here seeking 50,000 investment for better against skin diseases. Let's emerge victorious together. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the presentation. I have one question. Are you currently, I presume you're currently making it up at your own place, right? Your lab or something like that. So
we recently, I would like to take questions.
yeah.
We recently have transitioned into mass production, which is why we're seeking your investment to go into bigger production.
Hence, that's going to be my question, because I'm quite familiar with this because I have worked with someone who is doing handmade soaps. So if you're going to do an OEM manufacturer, I presume that's what you're looking at, right? So how are you going to release your formulation? Because when you do OEM, then your formulation is your secret formula, let me put it that way, has to be given for OEM manufacturers. Is that something that you thought about, and how will you protect that? Yeah, because you need GMP if you're going to, do a mass export and for halal as well.
Okay, so to answer your question, yes, that was our biggest hurdle before this. We very recently have gotten OEM producer who finally agreed to our formulation. There's certain steps in our formulation that no one else can reproduce. We've tried chemists who couldn't. Somehow we managed to make that step. So once they agree and they sign an NDA with us, provisional NDA, then we proceed. So we found somebody who can make it, and we've tested the samples and it works. So we plan to proceed.
Thank you. Any other question?
Yeah, so I've sensitive skin, so I can't use regular soap or even deodorant, right? But I do find in the market there are many different types of soaps that sort of fit in your category. So I'm not sticking to a specific brand, but I can find different brands that sort of fit into the sort of a no soap category, right? Which is kind of like what you're doing. So I find it to be quite competitive. And if you go to a supermarket, you don't see the same brand that dominates. How do you think that you could scale and dominate? Because otherwise, you know, it sounds like you will be maybe a small business. How do you become the Lux of, you know, sales?
Understand. Thank you very much for your comment. So, you see, when you go to Guardian, Watsons, let's go back to. So if you go to Watsons and Guardians, right, you will find a very few soaps, brand of soaps. For example, like Cetaphil, for example, like JF, for example, like, you know, Sebamed, right? Those are the kinds that you can find. But the thing is, when it comes to bar soap, I think if we put aside the non-soap brand, bar soap, 90% of them are made of a less premium oil, which is palm oil. And then most of them got perfume, alcohol. So those are potential skin irritants. It might not be the best, the best solution for a person with skin sensitive like yourself. I think if you go online, right, you can see a lot of varieties of organic soap. But those kind of soaps, they don't have the certification. You can go and check online a lot. But the thing is, how sure are we, how confident are we that they are exactly what they claim to be? So this is the difference between us and those outside online. We will have certification, and our plan, which is, you can see here from phase 3 onwards, we plan to go into pharmacies and clinics. So with this, what is how we plan to expand our business.
So to answer the question further, so I'm a doctor currently practicing. So phase 1, we've actually already penetrated online a lot of patient support groups. Our current audience in these support groups, they are like with 80,000 members based in Klang Valley. We are running online surveys and question forms. So like you said, how are we going to be the next Lux? Lux is not what we're trying to be. We're trying to be something a bit more niche, like Sebamed, like people who actually have skin conditions, and that's what we want to tackle. So after we supply this online, those who respond to our online campaign, we are going to take their testimonials. We're going to supply a network of clinics with our FDA approval. Once we have doctors' testimonials, that's when we are planning to go and phase 4 into retail stores. So initially, it's broken down into patient support groups, patients' testimonials. With that, we go into clinics. With clinics, the doctor's testimonials, the improvement of patients, then we will go into retail.
How do you balance premium ingredients with being cost effective? Because you're trying to be the next CFO, with the global inflation going on. You know, a consumer may want to a large pharmacy store and just look for the cheapest product for their same condition. They're not looking for, you know, the most expensive one. They're not looking for La Mer. So the question here is, what's your differentiation, you know, going along with Lux is a pretty cheap option. And that's why many people will use it for different products at different tiers. But is your strategy cost differentiation of along with, quality differentiation? Is that a way for you to enter the market in that way?
Yes.
So our strategy is, like you said, it's not really, the product differentiation will be very obvious with the ingredients we use. Absolutely no palm oil, completely organic oils. It is a little costly, but we're still cheaper than most of our competitors. Cetaphil is about 20 to 30 ringgit more expensive than us in most clinical pharmacies.
Is it organic though?
Yes,
Is it organic?
completely organic.
Sorry, I bought it and used it for many years. I don't.
Cetaphil?
Yeah,
No, Cetaphil is not organic.
it's not, right?
Yes.
So, given other organic, so compared to other organic, soaps, are you cheaper or more expensive?
We are somewhere in the median rate. At homemade soaps, we are a bit more expensive than them. But we are generally cheaper than foreign organic soaps. The biggest producers for organic soaps usually come from Australia and industries in the Middle East. We are still cheaper than them.
I noticed that the amount of money that you're asking is actually very small. Because you have put the social media marketing and you put 10,000, right? Don't you think you need to relook at your model, because it will cost you a lot more than 10,000?
Okay, so our third co-founder, who's not here, actually has its own advertising agency. So we will be running everything for a cost. So yeah, so we've covered all aspects from pharmacology to practice and distribution to designing and marketing. So yeah.
I think maybe, I'm not sure why you didn't consider a local player like Claire Organics as a competitor, because for me, that's an immediate brand that came to my mind. And I know Claire Organics has been around for quite a few years, and they really expanded their product in organic handmade soaps. And if I'm not mistaken, the story is also based on the child or someone having eczema and then they came up with this. I think it's Claire or another brand. But they have taken quite a while to build, but their brand is quite up there. But it's not purely online, meaning that a lot of their brand building happens through their small kiosk shops that they have in the malls that you see. So do you even consider them as a competitor, or do you think that they don't?
They kind of paved the way for us to show it could be done, but we aim to be a bit more reputable than them in the sense that I am currently a GP with a group of clinics that has 18 branches in Klang Valley. My clinic alone sees about 350 patients a day. If one chain alone takes it, it's quite a big market, but we plan to actually enter the larger market when your doctors recommend it and it's sold in pharmacies rather than just regular retail. Our regular retail will be done by mostly dropshipping and stockists who we're planning to work with single moms and risk women and empower them to go and sell it.
One last question. How long does your soap last?
Shelf life at least is 2 years.
No, I don't mean shelf life. If I were to buy and use it, because the current soap I use is organic and it will last me 3 to 6 months. So if you're selling one soap at 55 and the person buys it and uses it for 3 months, that means the number of soaps that you're going to sell may not be as many as you have projected. Yeah, is that something that
at a standard twice a day usage for regular body surface area will last you anywhere between 30 to 45 days.
Thank you. Maybe and the team.
Thank you very much.
You should have bring the soap first. Yeah, you should have bring the soap first to try. Okay. Yeah. Next, we will have Hui from Golden Art. Yeah. So Hui, you can share with us about your ideas.
Good afternoon. I'm Hui Ling from Golden Hearts. So quick question. Are you a working adult with an aging parent at home that needs looking after? High probability it's a yes, right? So this idea came about when I was looking after my mother after she was diagnosed with lung cancer. So I experienced firsthand the difficulties in caregiving. Now, our startup aims to empower working adults by providing quality care for aging parents, minus the burnout. So as we all know, Malaysia is heading towards an aging population. So what that means is that there are more and more informal caregivers. For a lot of these caregivers, they face difficulties in balancing work and caregiving responsibilities. But not only that, sometimes you just don't know what to do, right, after your aging parent. So this is where we come in. Now we aim to provide on-demand care for your parents in the comfort of their home so that you can go by and do the things that you need to do. But besides that, we also aim to provide the best quality care for your parents, and we do so with our team of experienced doctors and caregivers. So how do we do this? Basically, you tell us your need, we'll match you with a caregiver before you receive your care. For now, we will focus on two main care services, which is medical escort, where we accompany your parent to the doctor's appointment, take notes, ask questions before debriefing you, and check-in visits, where we don't just accompany your parents, we can also administer simple wound care and basic care needs. So the aging population in Malaysia is about 2.5 million as at 2023, and we aim to capture about 10% of that market, which translates to about 4.6 million ringgit in revenue. To start, we will focus on the on-demand model before eventually moving towards a subscription-based model. So how do we go to market? Through our network of caregivers, we will reach out to the communities, while also partnering with hospitals and associations in the Klang Valley. Besides that, we also aim to partner with the Ministry of Women, Family and Community Development to empower women to return to work. So our key differentiation lies in that we are backed by a team of doctors and professional caregivers so that we can provide the best care for your parents while being there for them and accompanying them. This is our plan for the next 5 years. There's a team. We're supported by Dr. Priba and Krishna Veni, who is the ultimate caregiver. Now, to take this forward, we are looking to raise 150,000 ringgit in the next 3 months for a runway of 12 months and a targeted revenue of 600,000 ringgit. That's all we have for now. Thank you so much.
So clearly another product that, is super useful for the community. So I'm wondering of the people that are part of your team.
Right.
Do they work full-time for you or are they part-timers?
Yes, they will be full-time. In fact, sorry, not this slide. Krishna Veni will come aboard as a shareholder. Oh, sorry, forgot that one. Yes.
Yeah, understand.
Yes.
But so my correct to assume that these are co-founders or the core team, right?
Yes, the core team.
Yeah, core team.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So beyond the core team, you have 30, 50, 100 people.
Sorry.
Right? Beyond the core team,
Yes.
you will have plenty of people that provide service to your customers, right? Out of the team that provides the service to the customers, will they be full-time on your payroll, or would they be part-timers, or would they be on contract? I mean, how do you want to develop that relationship?
Right. Okay, so to start, there will be a hybrid of full-time workers as well as flexible workers. So meaning gig workers. So for example, we will start with training of these caregivers. So all caregivers will have to attend this training that we do. And after that, they will come on board doing internship. before we decide whether or not we want to take them on board full time. But if not, then they will be doing like a flexible basis.
Yeah, the reason I asked that is because, there are obviously many problems when you start a business. But in models like this, a key problem that you will face is leakage. Right? Because I've been in this situation, I've used this service, but I never stayed on. And the reason why I never stayed on is because I just tried a couple of different people, and then ultimately employed help directly. Right? So that's potentially a concern for you, because then you're going to have leakage, and then you lose your customers. So churn, sometimes it's an inherent element in certain models.
Right.
So how do you want to manage that?
Okay, I understand your concerns. It has also been on my mind. So in terms of how to manage leakage now, the model really is a lot like recommend.my if you're familiar. So what they do is they have service providers come on board, and then customers who are looking for that particular service, and they match them. So essentially that is eventually that is what we want to do. But at the start, like I mentioned, so it'll be a hybrid sort of work model where we have take people on a contract basis, and then also have this flexible gig work. So to answer your question, I don't think I answered your question. Leakage, how do we manage that? Okay, so we will incentivize. So it's a platform, right? So you have a review-based platform where you have good reviews and bad reviews. And how it's similar to the recommend.my model is that so for those that get bad reviews, then we will penalize them. Those that get good reviews, then we will incentivize them. So meaning to say, like, okay, if you're getting good reviews, then you have continuously more and more customers.
So, the review is an outcome of your model.
Yes.
And I was actually chatting with Nadira. This feels like kiddo care, but for seniors. So that's kind of the model that I immediately thought of when you were presenting. And her thought process around the quality of training is given to the staff, whether it's medical training or just the highest form of quality, so that even if you do have leakage or if you have attrition, or you have churn, if I as a customer feel like your staff are just the most highly trained individuals in the market, I may feel comfortable with the new one faster than I would if I've gotten used to one person and now they're left, and I felt like their level of care is not going to be consistent with the new person that's going to be offering me a level of care. So how are you achieving that very high level of training for your staff, not just what sort of okay, so you're giving this, and is this higher than what is available in the market to those who are doing this as a full time? Like, for example, when Suresh mentioned that you just directly employed someone, is this a higher level of training than maybe one that you would find directly?
Okay, as far as my knowledge goes, I don't think that there are any training currently provided that is conducted by a doctor. So in that sense, we have the, how would you say, competitive advantage, because our advanced course will be conducted by a doctor. Yes, and we have a caregiver who is, she was trained and, she has experience in the US for more than 20 years.
So one thing I would do is, in your next pitch, I would lead with this to say, our competitive advantage is that we have the most trained staff, and that we have staff that, because as children of aging adults, we don't have any training for this, right?
Yes.
And so you can always identify the gap that remains there, and this would be a good one to more strongly highlight.
Thank you. That's a very good point. Thank you.
Actually, just to add on to what Suresh has mentioned, because my friend is actually using, caregivers, and the biggest challenge she has is the person turns up one day and then the next day they don't turn up. So that's become the biggest challenge, and I think that's something that you do need to look into seriously, and perhaps in your plan, actually take that as one of the areas that, maybe a risk assessment or, how do you plan to do that? I think that's my suggestion. And I just have a question. You put here that earn up to 4,000 plus.
Yes.
But your service fee is 50 ringgit for 5 hours, right? So 50 ringgit for 5 hours works out to be 250 ringgit. That means that's how much you're making in a day. Cleaners earn more than that, yeah? So how do you propose to earn the kind of income or the kind of profit margin that you're projecting?
Yeah, so based on, okay, let me just go back to that slide. Okay. Yeah. Now, currently, what the caregivers are making is about 30 ringgit an hour. And so that's how, and from our market validation, we know that our potential customers, they are willing to spend about 50 ringgit an hour for a minimum of 5 hours a day, and up to between the range of 1,000 and 2,000 ringgit a month. So that's how we derive these numbers. Your question?
I think it's a bit underestimated because you would even like helpers and all that now have about 30, 35 ringgit an hour easily. And if going back to what Ira said, the key differentiator is going to be the quality.
Right.
Because I think in Malaysia, one of the challenges we've had compared to maybe more developed markets, why care for the aging is so much better is because of the quality, the level of expertise involved. And if you don't put that in, then there's nothing that differentiates you from, everyone else. And as a customer, when you're looking for help for your aged parents, you would go to Google and you might look up something. You get either the option of sending them to a care home or services like this. So the only way for you to differentiate yourself is going to be on the quality, and therefore you probably have to pay them a lot more than this. It's a state that.
Yes. Okay, point noted. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we will go with the next one, the last three of today. So for the people, oh, sorry. Okay, so for judges, you can fill in the form. For those who need some recharge, you can get water at the back with the water dispenser. Okay, next. That's a good. Okay, hello everyone, I'm June, a lawyer, and this is our product, Law Bank, which is an AI legal solution for SME. So the pain point we are solving here is right now legal fees reluctance. Those SME, they are reluctant to pay fees for agreements, and it causes more problem after that. So for another pain point is delayed legal guidance, such as when you ask something a lawyer, and then they will delay the answers because they have their schedules. So another thing, the last thing is unauthorized signatures, because those SME, when they during MCO, where they tend to send the agreement through WhatsApp and email, and they can't be sure the person who signed the agreement is that person, and they don't spend money for the lawyer, so no one witness that for them. So this is the three pain point we are trying to solve, and our solution is legal consultations and to generate the customized agreements by using AI technologies. So it will save money and it has instant reply, and we also provide legal eKYC signatures. So when they sign the agreement, they have to do the face verification, ID verification. If for company, we will ask them to input the resolution from the company to make sure it's authorized by the company.
So this is the difference between us and ChatGPT. For ChatGPT, if you ask them any legal question, they will only give you a very general answer, which is not practicable to generate an agreement. For us, we will prompt the questions and we will use the information we get from the SME to generate the contracts. So it's more user-friendly compared to ChatGPT. And this is our partnership ecosystem. This is how we acquire the user. For example, we are partners with Alliance Bank, and they give us customer database, and we give them law firms bank accounts. Which the law firm, if they want to be in our platform, they have to sign up a bank account with Alliance Bank. So this is our market validation, and our target market for SME is those who use template agreements and those without the agreement. So 86% of them is positive, not all of them, 100 of them, which we did the survey. So this is a business model, subscription basis, around 23.90 per month. And we are targeted 20% of the target customer within 3 years' time, and our revenue will be 62 million if we hit this amount within 3 years. So this is us. We are capital founder team of the legal innovators. We are backed by 3 law firms, and we have 4 public listed company portfolio to support us. So this is the investment fund. We are trying to get 500,000 for 5% of ordinary shares. We use it for talents, higher operational costs, product development, and marketing. So this is us. So please contact us if you have any interest in us. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. I read somewhere that you are going to use an AI which is trained by lawyers.
Yes.
So where do you get your data model from?
Okay. At first, because we lawyers, we use we search the case using a system called Legislation Journal and LexisNexis. So we get the database from that. Because we are members of Malaysian Bar Councils, so we have free access to those data.
But I would think that even there should be some copyright, right? Because free access to you as a lawyer, but not free access to whoever the online people will be using it.
Okay. Yeah, because for this, actually lawyers use those case law in the court to the public. So actually it's public documents. Even any cases in Malaysia other than family law is for public use. So you can just buy the case from the EFX system, which is the court system. You can buy the whole court paper. Yeah.
You're raising quite a bit. 500,000 you said?
Yes.
For 5%. And can you go back to that news response? I'm still trying to understand where is the main focus. Is it going to be on developing the model?
Actually, we already developed the model. Right now, we are training the bot to answer the questions. So the product will be launched around May. We did our soft launch. We secured a few free subscription. And so currently, we need the 500,000 for marketing. We will focus more on marketing to have more market shares so that we can ask those law firms, other law firms, to be partners to our platform. So this is what we need to spend on it. So for product development, we only spend a few of it for maintenance fees, and if there's some bugs and all those, then we have to develop it. So we can't actually take out the product development. Then for operational costs, it's just normal operations. Then the talent hires is like for some lawyers. If they don't want to be a lawyer, they want to be in-house, then maybe we hire in to train the bot. So everything is more on the 2025 is more on product development, but we just want to allocate 35% for the market acquisition.
Show me a breakdown of your marketing plan.
So for now, our marketing strategy, we can't use digital marketing, because if you use digital marketing, those customers, they won't really know how to use this AI tech. So what we can do is we collaborate with all these partners, then we can have an events together with for example with alliance banks. So we can they can invite their customer to our events, and then in that event we can share some useful tips for SME on how to structure their legal structures, or what agreements is needed, and for employment agreements and all those things. From that, and we try to close them to use our apps to generate the agreements, but we share them the legal knowledge through the events. So it creates extra benefit for those banks and partners. Yeah, so it's the same lah. Most of it is by event and digital marketing as awareness that we are in the market.
You would have a website which provides the functionality how to say.
Yeah. But we find that if we share it in the event, it will be clearer, because the event will be held by law firms. So currently we have 3 law firms in the founder team, and then we have other partnerships with the law firms, but we didn't put it in. But they will be giving the talk, and from that talk is like a ESG talk. Then if the customer wants the real lawyers, they will go to them. If the customer find that AI is okay, then they will come to us. So it's like a win-win situation for both parties.
I think you should also consider lead acquisition, because if a lot of your target market, like the SMEs, larger SMEs, or your exact target market is?
We are targeting the smallest SME, which they can't really pay for the. Yeah.
Nevertheless, they're all online. So I think if you're going to have a well-functioning site, you should also try to look if you can acquire leads online. Of course, doing the online events as well.
Yeah, I think that's very good point. Maybe we can have some like online events, education or something.
I have a question as well, follow up from my first question. Just when you did your competitor analysis, you chose to compare with ChatGPT. Actually, when I went and searched online, there are many plugins that are working with ChatGPT 4.0, all to do with legal advice. I think there were at least about 18 that I basically looked at. So why are you not benchmarking against those who are in the same space rather than looking at ChatGPT as a comparison? Because that's just a text to it's just a Gen AI, which is
okay. I understand. Okay, because we put it as ChatGPT because we are actually integrating the system from ChatGPT. So from this we know that the difference between them and us. Then for the others companies such as also using AI legal tech, right? That one we will try because I know some is actually targeting lawyers. There are tools for lawyers, not like us, because ChatGPT are targeting everyone. Then for us, we are targeting SME and including lawyers. So for those, I think you are mentioning is Nextlaw. I did try some of their products. They are more for lawyers use compared to SME.
Like I said, I didn't go into detail, but there are quite a few in the market, because I know that even for when you use Word, for example, you can actually have an edit, which is also from one of the I can't remember which AI tool, but you can actually have an edit for legal document preparation. So I mean, I think it'll be good for you to also see who else you're competing with, because then that's something that you might want to look at your pricing and so forth, because otherwise. And I always fear that if you ignore competitors, they will come and fight you.
Understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
For that, I think what's going to differentiate again is your marketing, right? Because people don't know that what you offer is really an alternative to a lawyer, because it's going to customize the legal document exactly what your needs are. There's a lot of what we see online, or even maybe I haven't tried the ChatGPT plugins yet, but it could be very generic. I could be wrong myself, but you need to highlight the fact that this is actually very customized, and and probably how it stands out to the other solutions. Otherwise, there's just plenty available.
Okay, understand. Thank you.
Sorry, maybe I missed it, but did you indicate what was your go-to-market? Like how much are you going to charge people?
Yeah, it's here, right. We are charging if yearly payment around 23.90 per month for unlimited agreements. Then yeah, this I think when we have the top last I think 20 of the March, I just closed a few times around 20 out of 70%. Then I closed them by saying how much would they choose, like 5,000 for one agreement or 23.90 ringgit for unlimited agreements. They choose the cheaper version.
Then the other question is that, okay, so, you know, in the founder team, right, you can just look at that screen, I think. So you are the sort of the content expert around the legal work.
Yes.
And who's your sort of tech partner? So,
Our tech partner right now.
your slide on the
Right now, we used to have a CTO, but then we actually outsourced it out to a company, which their name is Synorex. They are AI experts, which is more suitable for this product compared to our CTO. Then we don't want to just simply spend the investor money for just having a CTO in our company. That's because we already outsource it out, then the CTO will be just sitting there and then taking the money. So we just outsource it out and then we buy the source code and the person will be helping us to maintain it.
Thank you, judges, for the questions.
One final question. Your model, is it outside Malaysia at all, or is it fixed to Malaysia?
We are planning to expand outside Malaysia. But the thing is, this is a legal law thingy, so we have to find those co-founders, partners in other countries, which we currently have from Singapore and Hong Kong, these two countries. So, but they are waiting until the whole thing come out, and then they have a look on it, then they will decide whether to collaborate together as co-founders and to develop these apps.
Okay, so and the timeline for that would be, if you had to estimate?
Yeah, because the products will come out before May. So I think after May, we will fly to Hong Kong, the Hong Kong partner, to show them the products, and then we will discuss from that on. So I think around end of this year.
Okay. And one last question: do you foresee a huge constraint in terms of customizing it for obviously foreign countries and their legal requirements?
Yeah, of course. That's why we need a partners from the countries, not the team in Malaysia.
That's all. Thank you. Yeah, and judges, you can drop your comments and submit the form.
Okay. Yeah.
And next, we will have Suresh Thiru from Renergy to share with us.
Greetings from Renergy. My name is Suresh, and I'm going to highlight about the universal problem: plastic. So right now, Malaysia is ranked second in Asia of the usage of plastic. There are a lot of single-use plastic due to that, and it's going to get worse and currently we're estimating at 1 million tons. So how are we going to solve this problem? Plain sight, we're going to use plastic road technology, where we have exclusivity for Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore. He's the guy who holds the patent. The patent is there and it's being used in India Road Congress, which is similar to JKR Malaysia, and it's expanding. So I'm going to focus what is the benefit from an ESG perspective. So basically, when I tackle the plastic waste, I'm going to address economic problem as a circular economy, environmental problem definitely, and the social. How am I addressing? Because I'm using B40 to collect this waste. And the rest of it I'm going to explain in this slide. So basically, you're looking at a place in Chennai where it's similar to KL, where the road is bad, congested and everything, flood, so on and so forth. They built this road in 2002 and has not done any maintenance ever since. So it's 20 odd years. And what's the difference between my road and the current road? It's slightly expensive now, but it has a better longevity. And obviously, we have reduction in bitumen, which we don't have it now. And we have cost reduction in the bitumen, usage of plastic, and reduction in carbon footprint, which you can't find in the common product right now. So next, it's as simple as throwing the plastic in, and we get out green asphalt. So, is the market ready for this? Definitely. We are talking about Sabah, so I was talking about this market. To give you a very focus, because I mentioned Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore, I'm focusing only on Malaysia. The budget allocated for federal works is 9.5 billion, and I'm only currently focusing 1% of the market, which is Selangor and Larastur. So this is our trial last week in Bangi. So we did it with JKR, and amazingly, for 200 meters, I have resolved 450 kilograms of plastics with a social enterprise where I fed 5 families. And JKR was like, can you give us the data so we can start moving this? So this is JKR. 2024 and 2025, our plan is very simple. We did our trial activity. Now it's going to the market, basically going to all the state agencies, councils, private developers, construction companies, so on and so forth. 2025, because currently we're only talking to JKR Sarawak to get it approved there as well, because each legislation is different. And our vision is simple, cradle to cradle. And this is my beautiful team. We have social enterprise, the right is on JKR. And these are experts who has more than 40 years experience. Our JKR people, engineers, so on and so forth. My ask is only 300,000 because we are looking at purchasing the shredder machine, the compressor machine, and a proper setup of warehouse. Because currently we're doing it in a very social enterprise manner. So we want to be more structured. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, thank you.
Hi, yes.
So you've done it in India, you said.
India has already done it for the last 20 years. So I wanted to give a feel, the Malaysian feel of it, because seeing is believing. So anybody wants to come to Bali, please feel free to drop us. We'll show you the road. Simple as that.
I guess the question is how long the roads have lasted. So I guess you've done it 20 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
So this is what you see now, or
no, you go to India right now, you can see it, and if you want, we can show it with our partners there.
Is it scaling over there, India?
Sorry?
Is it being scaled?
Yes, yes, they are using 200,000 kilometers. And technically, the Indian Road Congress, they have their 4th version, where previously India has banned plastic, and then they realized, no, this is good. So let's come up with a new bill on plastic management, waste management, because they realized the longevity is better, and it gives B40 groups and also people in India to have an actual job opportunity for the B40s. Yeah.
Very interesting. I have 2 questions.
Yes, please.
One is in India, waste collection is big business, right? Because
Correct.
they do go and pick up all the
Yes.
signboards.
Yes.
So you need to replicate that in Malaysia.
Yes.
So how are you going to do that? That's my first question.
Yes.
Second question is, you are looking at this being used for bitumen, right? But what about other applications? Is there any other potential uses where you can use the same technology to, maybe parts and things like that? Yes.
Definitely. So thank you for the question. So basically, you see there's 2 people on the side, right? They are social enterprise people. So they actually go to landfill, they go to places to collect it. So right now, that's why we want to set up a proper warehouse so that it becomes more organized and safe and clean. Because we realize every time we go and ask for plastic, nobody's going to give you. The cleaning is painful, seriously. So we want to address it in-house. By having the patent and also managing the raw material, it gives a very sustainable and quality control. So that's the first answer for the first question. And the second question regarding other types, whether we can incorporate other types of plastic, yes, definitely yes, but we're going stage by stage because we want to make sure that the market is familiar with it, get a bit used with it, then to start scaling on different types of construction material.
Was whether you can use this for other applications.
Yes, definitely yes.
So there's a lot of demand, there's a lot of market forces in your favor for this right now. Can you elaborate on the patent? My first question was, what would prevent someone else using the same technology that's already being applied in India, on their
That was our biggest concern when we took it. So basically, the patent holder from India. So we had a conversation with him like a year ago. We had this conversation, and then because he had the patent, he has given up by countries. So Pakistan, Bhutan, Dubai, UK.
One company
per country, correct. So basically, there was another country, other companies in Malaysia has approached him, and then they just go there and say, guys, we already signed with these people. If anything, you come and talk to this particular company. So Renergy Bumi Hijau is the local exclusivity company for Malaysia, Indonesia, and Singapore. So they have kept up their end of bargain, so which is pretty good. And the biggest key right now that I would like to highlight is we also have competitors, but our biggest key is localization. We want to make it local waste. We want to address the local waste problem because we notice our competitors are bringing from overseas, and that reduces the impact of carbon footprint. Because when you use up the local waste, that's where you reduce significant amount of carbon reduction. One, reduction in actual plastic waste rather than externally. So that's what we are trying to address. Yes.
What are you actually selling? You're selling ground up with a plastic.
No, we are selling the green asphalt, our product itself. The product itself.
So you're going to have a machine that mixes the plastic into the bitumen and lays roads. No, you're going to have a team that lays the road.
We have a team to lay. Our role here right now is a supplier. We are a supplier of green asphalt, where we also address the issue of no patent issues, and then we also address the issue of plastic, because we realize if we do not get into the game, we're going to have issues with the plastics and the quality of the plastics. So,
what percentage of the asphalt is plastic?
I'm so sorry if you want to sign an NDA with me. I would love to share that. I've signed with them though.
This is just curiosity. What's your role in the company? Are you the founder or?
I'm one of the founders, but I'm an environmental engineer, so I'm passionate about this. So my mom used to joke with me, it's like, if you don't study well, you're going to end up picking rubbish. Apparently, I'm doing it now after studying. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Suresh, for the pitch. Let's have 1 minute for the judges to drop their comments in the form. Meanwhile, we'll put out the QR code for this. Okay, we are here with the second last of the presentations. Let's have Rebecca from Chocolate with Benefits.
Hello.
Good evening. My name is Rebecca, the founder of CWB Chocolate with Benefits, where we innovated the first chocolate that contains natural sweetener like Great Dates to deliver lower sugar content and calories intake without compromising the taste. So as growing up, I see my grandmother suffering from diabetes, and me myself was also facing some hormonal issue as well, which causes have a limitation of choice when it comes to sugary snacks. That inspired us to want to make people feel good about eating chocolate without feeling guilty, and by also delivering quality nutrition way lesser in sugar. So as the main problem, as we all aware that Malaysian diabetes rate is up to 53% right now, and that costs up to 4.4 billion just spent on diabetes and healthcare every single year. And what is the consumer biggest challenge? I believe everyone here wants to be healthy, but still want to eat those junk food, right? So we are currently helping everyone here to go for eating sugary stuff, but still maintain the taste without compromising the nutritional facts. And here's the market validation that national study shows that our Malaysian citizens already started to associate consuming low sugar product with a healthy lifestyle. And 58% of us already started to check sugar content before making a purchase. And this brings us to a total addressable market of 3.4 billion of Malaysia obese market, with a total service optimal market of 237 million in Malaysia, where we're targeting urban areas. Here's our solution where we provide 0 gram of added sugar products that come with benefits such as 8 grams of protein, 4 grams of fiber. So each one single sachet contains 2 cups of serving of broccoli that we might not even consume per day. Okay, so here's our go-to-market strategy where we'll be targeting online consumer and return to offline for a physical overall experience. So here's how CWD stand out from the traditional chocolate equivalent. As you can see, one of the Smart Bar already contains 24 grams of sugar intake, where CWD maintains able to make it in just 2 grams. So you must be wondering, does really people want to go for healthy chocolate? Does it really taste good? We have tried our MVP and sold 15,000 of chocolate with benefit in just 5 years. And the best part is that we have received good testimonials without paying them for this review. Yeah. So we also have nutritionists tried out our product and we got a very good feedback from them. So here's our team behind who make this possible along this journey, where one of our biggest achievements is we collaborate with KKM Malaysia to promote healthy awareness and be smart about food choices. And this is our upcoming event next month where we'll be having, we are invited exclusively as a chocolate entrepreneur in May Valley. And this is our partner. Here we're asking for 550,000 ringgit for us to develop a better product from MVP that we have tried last time. And we are seeking for 12 months, looking out for 12-month financing to reach up to 80,000 of purchases of CWP product that brings 1.2 million revenue in next 12 months. And thank you very much. If you love our products and wanted to know more about our brand, feel free to talk to me after this. And if you ever get a chocolate, maybe you can come to me as well. Thank you very much.
Just wanted to check. Is this what you're selling?
Yes, yes.
Oh, sorry. No, so this is 50 ringgit, is it?
No. One is we're currently selling the market price of 8 ringgit. That's it. Yes. And average transaction, usually our customer will buy in bulk. For now, what we survey, what we are seeing, customer return back to us will buy minimum 6 pieces just to stock up in their fridge because they still cannot able to buy it from the grocery store, from the 7-Eleven, they couldn't get that. So they usually buy in bulk. We also have customer buy 60 pieces one time for us to send to Brunei.
If you go back to your competitors, you have you benchmark yourself against Cadbury, Mars bars, Snickers, and so forth. But if you go to the supermarket, they do have sugar-free. I just bought the other day. Sugar-free, it's about 100-gram bar, which is about 10 ringgit. 10, a little more than 10 ringgit in the supermarket. So maybe you probably need to benchmark what is your additional competitive advantage over those sites because they're just plain chocolate bar.
Yeah.
Without sugar.
Yeah. Understand. But to reply to your question, I actually experienced one of the consumer. I was standing beside her, right? She was also choosing the chocolate bar. Then I approached her and asked, she seems like confusing which bar to choose. So what I realized that consumers still don't know who are the big players in the market who actually haven't met the gap that, oh, who is the leading chocolate player that actually provide healthier options. So I believe that we can make that gap.
So I think my question is related.
I have seen just how you ate my chocolate. How
Yes, it's wonderful. And unlike the others, I planned ahead.
Oh, thank you. Isn't it you hungry or something?
Yeah, they're looking at me like I'm such a greedy guy. Of course, but no. Anyways, so it's a related question, right? So you got the big brands up there, right? But right now, there's some local brands, right? And local entrepreneurs that are also in this space, right? So how do you benchmark with them? How do you want to differentiate? Because, healthy options are getting to be quite crowded.
Thank you for the question. Yes, that is a very good question. It's because that most of the chocolate in the market, they usually comes in bar and they don't really make it functional. So it's just like chocolate, when people come to chocolate, they are all bars, But what about those people who like something more indulgence? You know what I mean? Yeah, so I think that this is something that we want to tap in, like indulgent stuff instead of just plain chocolate bar. Actually, market there are a lot of like 99% of chocolate bar. For people who are healthier conscious, yes, they will choose 99%. But for people who usually just want to eat for something sweet to satisfy their craving, we want something like not 99%, it's like so bitter. But ours one is not 99%, but comes with the sweetness. It's like eating Snicker bars or Reese's peanut butter cup.
The very first couple of words in your presentation was, we're the first to use this type of sugar. What was it that you said then?
We use kurma dates.
Kurma.
Yes, kurma. It's natural sugar.
So what that is actually I was expecting a different word. I was expecting some other kind of alternative sweetener. So I think one of the things about dates because they're so readily available, that's not necessarily like a competitive advantage there. I'm expecting for that.
So you're thinking of something like maybe you can use a better sweetener or something?
Yeah, I was actually I was thinking that what you were using here was a type of sweetener that's not generally available in other forms of chocolate. And then I was going to ask you if you're limiting yourself just to chocolate, or are you thinking of using dates and other kind of sweetened products, or making it more available? But since dates are so commonly available, is there some variation of the date that you could be using to go into other types of products?
I'm glad that you asked that question. Yeah, currently we also wanted to look to develop new products. They were wants to make 0% sugar-free chocolate. Sugar-free chocolate, basically, we want to use allulose, which is a sweetener that comes from figs. Yes, which is more natural because most of the competitors they are using multifold, which will spike our sugar, blood sugar as well. Yes, so allulose is zero sugar glycemic index, which is diabetes friendly, keto friendly. That is what we wanted to move on after the coma. Yeah, this we're not so far.
This you can't claim to be diabetic friendly yet.
Not really yet. Right now, but we want we receive that's where we study from the consumer to see, oh, actually there's people really want it. So we wanted to bring this one step further to develop, like to be a leading chocolate brand that use zero sugar free, like the healthier option for the consumer to choose.
I tried Amway has this product, which they actually sell as a protein bar.
Okay.
Right, which is very similar to this. So have you considered this, because you're putting 6 grams of protein? So perhaps it's not just the market that you're looking at, maybe your market could also be those who are the gym goers, the health people who want to have a bar that gives me a high percentage of protein. Have you considered looking into that?
You mean target more on people who are more conscious about protein content?
I mean, not just target those who are
diabetes,
sugar conscious, but perhaps also the health bar. That's a very good market as well.
Yeah, we will target it as well.
Amway, this very much is like the Amway
protein bar.
Exactly.
That's good to know.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, judges. And also thank you, Rebecca. And your Thank you so much. So we have come to the last tip for today. But before that, let's have the judges to put down this scoring, and you can scan the QR code for crowd voting. Okay, let's welcome our last team for today, Shafira from Sarawak.
Thank you, Louis. By this time, I think everyone was like, yeah, you've been finished. But I hope my 3 minutes was your time. So I'm Shafira. I'm from Sumo Digital. Today, I would like to share something that we are developing, which is a digital dashboard based on AI to help B40 non-tech-savvy entrepreneurs. So let's start. So out here, we have tons of digital tools and platforms like to make websites, social media tools and stuff. But actually, portions of society still have challenges to use it. So let's bring up this story of Aisha. So this is a real person that I worked with for the past 1 year plus. So she works full time from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day, and in her free time, she still has to help her parents to sell to factories. We are helping her to digitalize her business so far, but then not just Aisha, we find out that a lot of B40 non-tech savvy entrepreneurs out there actually have two problems. First is we find out 64 of them want to commit to use these digital tools and to digitalize, but they don't have time, and 92% of them actually find it hard to use. So me and my friend, we sit down and see how actually our manual assistants could be scaled up to help more people like Aisha. So introducing Sumo GPT, so we are currently developing a dashboard based on AI to help people like Aisha. How? Two ways. The first is faster progress to launch and digitalize your businesses with all the essentials. And second, from just one single platform. So how it works? Of course, the question. First is they just need to log in and key in their business needs. Second, from there, Sumo GPT will build out the essential digital stuff that they need to do. Third, they can chat and click things from there, what they need to do. And lastly, from that one single platform, they can get all the other access to other resources that help to digitalize their business faster. So in terms of competitor, we don't really see ourselves as competitors, but rather a connector and gateway to other business tools out there to make it friendlier to B40 non-tech-savvy entrepreneurs. So in terms of business model, even the model is quite simple. We will charge one-time usage fee, and the sweet spot money making is actually the affiliate partner commission there. We actually want to focus on that song to help 402,000 plus B40 micro SMEs who are not digitalized yet, and that's the market that we want to focus on. How to get to them? So first is to collaborate with SME government agencies. Second is to continue educating them on TikTok where they hang out. And third is to emulate how Bukalapak started. This is not a one-time thing. We have been doing several things in the past, and we are establishing hubs to engage more local people on the ground. In terms of 1 year, there are two things we want to achieve. First is to develop our own model, and second is to help 1,000 B40 micro SMEs like Aisha. So to visualize this dream, to help more SMEs like Aisha, this is our asking 36,000 ringgit. And that's all. Thank you. I hope you enjoy my presentation.
Hi.
Hi.
Wonderful idea, wonderful concept, super useful for people. Have you all built the platform already or?
Oh, this is MVP. We're developing it now. The team, what is it? Yeah, this one. Yeah. So if you can see, it's still in English. Yeah. So the first part is quite easy, which is prompt engineering, but the hard part is actually the model we have to test and to scrap. Yeah. So at first we actually just want to ask for partnership, but then my mentor Shannon asked me, if you want to get to market faster, then you could ask some extra helps, but this is some of the things that we are doing currently.
Yeah. And so just so I understand better, the model is to get the entrepreneurs to use the tools or to help them build a marketplace. So you need to go and find buyers as well.
Digitalize their businesses. So for example, like Aisha, so she wants to apply for loans. And she doesn't know how and what, so she can go here and then set up necessary, not just to get the business loan. So for example, the bookkeeping, normally my classmates don't really have digital accounting, so they will also learn that website, minimum landing page, so we will also put it here. That for example, and then they can like present it more, apply to the loans more confidently. Yeah.
So you're gonna aggregate this content and put it here.
Yes, correct. Yeah, and also the tools, because the links normally they go to Google, you have to go here and then and a lot of platforms links.
So how much of that content you will sort of create yourself, and how much of that you will just curate, aggregate and curate?
So far, because we're still developing, we are learning from our brother startup who are in AI, which is Mesologica. So they did this in around 9 months to 1 year. So that's where we did start with scraping and then training and the testing part. So we think we will take that time to do that, to curate and get all this data into these platforms.
I'm trying to determine two questions at the same time. So I'm wondering, do you foresee that your biggest difficulty might be in getting data to train the AI model, especially when your clients will have diverse businesses and diverse industries, so they would end up having diverse needs? Is that the big challenge, or is the other big challenge just essentially, would it be essentially just for adapting, your product? I mean, would it be the model, or would it be the actual use of the model by the business users to actually, meet the needs that they have? I'm actually wondering, I think it's both, but I'm wondering which one will be the bigger difficulty that you foresee.
Yeah, the second one, because for example, like similar entrepreneurs like Aisha, selling also food bags, selling also to factories. So how we want to, like we don't want to blurt out the same answer, for example. Yeah, but I also understand the lack of data, but because these contents are out there, for example, like BP and WordPress, and also our own, because we have been working with them manually, so the documentation are already there. It's just that lack of data is valid, because so far, based on Mesologica and our own experience, we have to invent synthetic data. So it's quite valid. So that's why we are also looking, but we don't pitch it here. So we are looking into TinyML on how smaller, because this is LLM. So we need larger model. Yeah, so that's why we are looking into TinyML, how to build it in smaller scale.
Yeah. And that's part of the 9 month plan to be included in what you're developing.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just wondering your 36,000, because from what I understand, you are reaching out to very small micro. They are probably, not even formal businesses. They have not formalized. Maybe they could sole proprietorship. Wouldn't the hand-holding be a big challenge, right? Because to get them to use your platform, and so that means you may have to spend quite a lot of time in engaging each individual, right? What you did with Aisha, yeah. So I think that my guess is 36,000 seems very, very small, yeah, because if you want to scale up, so what is your plan? Are you still going to stick with the 36,000? Or are you actually looking at, because you know, you probably won't earn anything for yourself.
Yeah, I like that because, so just to share, when we pitch first, I just asked for partnership, and then suddenly my mentor like, oh, you have to get some, funding. But this is, I think we are quite not really positive, but yeah, so we have been in talk with National STEM Agency. So we pitch this idea to help STEM at village ideas. So they have resources in terms of going to these spaces. So that's why I don't ask for more is because one, we actually come from NGOs, like social, we just do it out of our individual pocket before this. So we don't want to, do something that we cannot really return. Yeah, this is people's money. Yeah, so I think so that's why the ask is actually on the technology. Yeah, so we want to focus on that, and then we want to recruit people to be on these local places, for example, Sabah, Bernam, and Temelong, and we have been in talk with these people, like, do you want to digitalize your kampung? And then we have National STEM Agency, and that's why in our roadmap as well, so we don't plan like a lot of government agencies, 1 to 2, because we want to see how it goes. Yeah, because to be honest, we also pivoted from for this speech. Before this, we just want to establish hubs in Sabah, Bernam, in my kampung, and it's, again, I put Shannon here, so it's not really scalable, and so it opened up our eyes because, I don't know, it's doable, it could be scalable into these. So yeah, so what I'm trying to say is we want to take a precaution steps rather than like, this is big dream, like 400K plus, advance into us. Well, yeah.
I think I have to ask Vikesh, why did it sell you the big deal?
Yeah.
Can you go back to the founders, the slide?
Oh, yeah.
I just have another question.
Triple people, yeah.
Yeah. Who is the technologist in this?
So actually, I come from AI safety research, so that's the AI and the safety concern, but he's developing it. Yeah.
So his background is in
full stack development. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And thank you, Sapira from Semua Digital. So here is the last at the end of all the pages. So the same judges, you can take your time to fill in the form. And for the crowd voting, please have your phone up and scan. Same for the people at Facebook Live. You can get the link from the chat. Okay. Thank you, judges, for the comments. And that's all for today, pitches. But before we leave and before we end, so maybe we can have a few words from our panel of guests today. Any learning, realization, or summary from your side for today's team performance?
Hi, everybody. Thank you for the opportunity to participate, and huge thanks to everybody who joined the program and presented here. I know public speaking is never easy, so big thank you to all of you all for your pitch. Thanks to the team at 1337 as well for all the background work, getting all the people to reply, screening through, and working with them with the program and also today's event. I think they were excellent. In fact, all the presentations were excellent. So, good job to everybody who presented. And speaks a lot about the screening and the mentoring program as well from 157. So thank you for that. I think my biggest takeaway was that, huge social impact and all the programs that you all are running, as well to people individually, whether it's a food or mental health and other programs, or sort of community-based programs as well. So all of them seem to have great value. Commercial value will happen as we take it to market, and sometimes we need to change and pivot. But I think there's all of them are capable leaders and capable entrepreneurs. So I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Just reiterating a lot of what Suresh already said, but I would say the one thing that stood out for me was that we had so many female founders present, and yet the businesses weren't limited to a female audience. It was entirely global. And I've got to commend you for that. You're thinking big. A lot of the problems that we're trying to solve here are huge problems. That's a big swing you're taking. And so I commend that, because going after a small problem, leave that to the beginners. And I think what you guys are doing here is it really goes to show that if this is your first venture, if this is your first pitch for your first company, I commend you for how well it was done. It didn't look that way, and so just keep going. I think there are a lot of founders that stood on the stage that I would say, I want to hear your next idea and the next one and the next one. So keep going, because you look like you're on an amazing path. So good job.
I think I've always asked Vikesh as to why we don't have more people working on impact work. I think he knows I'm a big fan of social enterprise, but I've always found that actually every business by right should be a social enterprise, social-based business, because if you don't have something bigger that you're fighting for, problem that you're trying to solve, then why do business? And I think today was really heartening to see all businesses have a bigger cause that you're fighting for, whether it's diabetes or old age, plastics. And I think even at the beginning, I was probably one of those that wondered, do we need an all women only accelerator program? Should we have one? But I think today I'm convinced that there's great value. And but you should also go out there and participate in all sorts of programs, right? Not women only. But thank you for bringing so much impact, and keep doing good work.
Since everyone has shared their views, I'll just share something else. I'm actually a member of the National Association of Women Entrepreneurs, and as women especially, we are very good at bonding. We're very good at creating connection. So one of the things that I would highly recommend, please go and join one of these associations, especially if it's very business focused. You will learn a lot, and you pick a few mentors there to guide you. When you have a challenge, the best person to speak to is someone who has been there, done that, failed, and then learned from the experience. There's no other better teacher. So my recommendation is, in your journey, that should be one of the next steps that you should get going on. Right? So if you're interested in NAWEM, our website is NAWEM, NAWEM.org.1. Okay. Good luck.
Thank you, judges. As part of the program team, I want to say something as well. So thank you everyone for being with us for the past 1 month, your commitment and also your responsiveness and also your time with us for the past 1 month. Even though the schedule might be a bit compact for you, for some of you, comments and also feedback, but we hope that you really get something out of that. And remember that the people that you met today will eventually be the resources and the network that you will be useful for the future. And grateful that I see some of the teams, even though you are not in the meeting today, and you are supporting your peers, and thank you for being here. So we hope your entrepreneurship journey wouldn't end here, and we'll see you in another stage, shining brightly. So before we end, we have a very important crowd favorite. Yeah, so we have 10 teams who presented today. Maybe we can give a guess who is the crowd favorite from the form that we have sent out. So we have officially closed the form and we have the final result. So maybe some hints, right? The names come with something yellow or shine bright. The name, the sound name. Okay, so yeah, officially announced the crowd favorite for today. I hope you feel better for the perform more and feel better. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you everyone. So let's take a group photo on stage. So we can sit on stage so we can have this beautiful background as a backdrop. And for the people who are being with us on Facebook Live, thank you for your time and thank you for being sitting in front of your laptop for the past 2 hours. Thank you so much. See you next time physically. Thank you. Thank you.